Hello, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome to another Album Review Saturdays, episode 19. Album Review Saturdays. This show is an extension of our article section of the same name on beyondyourradio.com, written by Marvelous Me. But this is an extension of that. It allows you to hear it from a different point of view if I can get a panelist on. And today we have the Grateful Dude, who did 3 of the 5 albums we got today. Also, it obviously gives us the opportunity to throw those extras in so that you're not wasting your time on this video. We're looking for a few hundred subscribers. Are you up to the music listening task? Are you a music junkie like me? Are you going to comment, leave your mark on our channel? Please do so. And if you have already, obviously we thank you all the time and we love the conversation for sure. On the site this Saturday, Kamasi Washington's Fearless Movement, the Mandoki Soulmates, A Memory of Our Future, and Bossk, Point 4. We have 2 more albums at the end, so stick around. Let's jump in. Kamasi Washington, Fearless Movement. All right, so Kamasi Washington has stepped full on into Robert Glasperian jazz. What do I mean by that? This Fearless Movement is definitely where he's going to place and shift jazz into a multitude of genres, pulling from here, there, and everywhere. But this man is extremely talented at saxophone, but in actuality, he's underappreciated when it comes to compositions. It's crafted wonderfully, this mesh of diversified jazz recordings that truly master the flow, but also reach, a truthful, unforced combination of intersecting genres, which is difficult in the jazz environment because people's ears are generally drawn to that which they're familiar with in jazz. But jazz has so many elements and diversifications, and basically it's the backbone of most music. So simply put, whether it's his saxophone at the helm or completely missing from the compositions, the scales of musicianship that enter this are completely beguiling, fearlessly exercise the blending of hip-hop, bebop, soul jazz, classic jazz, funk, and even electronic age and varietals and a whole lot more in a truly ear-stounding piece. Now, not to mention the attention to the lyrical expressions that are in here as well, but it's a stretch for the jazz ear for those. So where are you on this, Grateful Dude, as you took on this assignment?
Well, I was going to say ear shattering, more air shattering than anything else. So I don't agree with everything you just said, and it's we do disagree sometimes musically because we're from majorly different generations. I got few years on you, and so I expect things sometimes to be more uh, like they were. Okay. Sometimes when they stretch music, sometimes they stretch it beyond the point it should be stretched. Okay, so this first of all, the the musical talent of this album is fabulous. There's no question they can play. No question. What they play is where I have a problem. When you mix jazz and rap, no, 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 no. I'm sorry. First of all, you guys who've watched our programs for a while know that I'm not a rap fan. It's just not in my wheelhouse at all. My ears start bleeding. So it's just one of those kind of things. Also, the trumpet sometimes blows notes it shouldn't blow on this album. It's just so screeching that I had to pull my earbuds away. There are parts of this that are just a little bit too. What word do I want to use? Um, I'm right now lost for words. This was a very hard album.
That's that Dante Wilson, I believe, right? The trumpeter.
Oh, yeah, and he's talented, really talented. There's not anybody on this album that isn't talented. You can feel it. What they play comes to be very subjective to who you are. you obviously tolerate it or like it more than I do. It's just there were songs that were good that I thought were decent. Um, nice jazz, what I would call raw jazz. But when they start mixing some of the rap, I get a little bit it perturbed was a good word for it. The vocals, there had a couple female vocals in there. They were very good. I really enjoyed them. This is not a one note um, album. This place goes everywhere, and you don't know what you're getting till you get to the next song
Yeah,
because
it's true.
the titles don't do anything for it.
No.
It's definitely uh, from outfield. For you people who are into rap and also like jazz, you're gonna like this album. I really believe that. I just don't happen to like rap, so it rubs me the wrong way. Uh, Kudos to them. It's definitely an interesting work. I'm not going to downplay it because professionally, production wise, musician wise, it's a very good album. It just doesn't work in my wheelhouse at all,
Yeah.
unfortunately. It's going down a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. So
Well, so Fearless Movement does not dwell or rest upon one area or arena of music in any way, shape, or form. Let's take on the song Dream State for a second, which is a modern masterpiece, technically, of jazz saxophone meets electronic ambient, which also features Andre 3000 on flute. When did this guy learn to play flute? It's this is one of the most thrilling moments of Fearless that is on the record because you're thinking they're expanding upon that idea of Daniel Lanois and Brian Eno in that ambient world and bringing it to jazz, which is elegant. It's got electronic and ambient blended together so that maybe there's something there that other people can take away from. I will also say that the album does orchestrate more jazz fusion moments with funk and progressive rock elements than it as it unfurls toward the end, including a band-like approach. There's a song called Interstellar Peace, which feels like the background of Radiohead's OK Computer in some places. So it's really got a lot of production elements that are fantastic. And the artists that surround him, they're coming in and out of this thing like crazy, jamming in and out of moments. The album clearly illustrates the reach, the scope, and accompanied by the power of jazz. That's what I get from this, the expressionism. Every instrument and style is as important to the genre and the blending of it, both improvised and non-improvised. The music is altogether moving in audio and in soulfulness. This is not a solitary listen, like the Grateful Dude said, to grasp it, unless you're a jazz musician by trade, I think. If you are, then you're going to have a little bit more of the understanding of where this is going. This is definitely a jazz album contender for me for best album of the year, and one that I hope more people will continue to explore. Again, the rap side of this, hip hop playfulness, is probably only a song or two deep. You know what I mean? It's not everywhere and anywhere, but there's a lot. It's two or three. Yeah, I don't remember the third. I don't. Maybe it was the ending one that has a little bit of piece. So, but there's a lot of players on here. Like I said, Andre 3000, a bunch, D Smoke, Terrace Martin, he's an alto saxophonist. So it's great to get another saxophonist involved too, which really tempers it too. So that's that one. Let's move on to the wild fusion of Mandoki Soulmates, which basically, I was not familiar with Laszlo Leslie Mandoki, a German-Hungarian percussionist, vocalist, producer, and composer of supergroups, apparently. So how does he get there, and how do we pick this, right? Well, I see this and I just go, let's just do it. I've never heard. Then I look up, this guy was in Eurovision in 1979. He represented Germany with his band I can't even pronounce. Genghis Khan, maybe, with 6 other people in this band. He loves the whole thing being put together that way. This is progressive jazz rock and everything and everywhere. But he's how does he get to control who he brings? Well, let's just start out by saying who he's worked with and done production with. Lionel Richie, Engelbert Humperdinck, and Phil Collins. So and he's worked with Disney and Audi. So he knows how to produce and come up with sound and everything. So who does he get? Oh, wow. Geez. He gets Ian Anderson. All right. Robin Gibb. He gets Jack Bruce, Steve Lukather, Al Di Meola. I mean, Till Bronner. It's crazy what this guy gets. So what is Mandoki Soulmates? Well, it's basically this Mahavishnu orchestra-ish kind of ensemble that just really, and Bill Evans is on here too. So is Mike Stern, Randy Becker. This is Supertramp and Toto and all kinds of progressive masters, right? And of course, Mr. Flute. So Grateful Dude, you come into this not knowing either. I didn't know. What did you think?
Awesome. Just start off with. But let me tell you what, for those deadheads out there, because this basically, when we do album Saturday, it's to convince you guys to listen to these albums. So for you deadheads out there who know the Dead have a very famous album called Terrapin Station. If you listen to Terrapin Station, you like that, you will love this album because the correlation is incredible. These guys are unfreaking believable. I try and give these albums 3 listens each. I gave this one 5 because this one it comes out. Not only is it out of left field, but it's out of this freaking world. The depth these songs have, the musicianship. It's definitely I'm gonna, if I try to put them in a genre, it would be jazz rock. Okay.
Yeah.
With a definite orchestra behind him. You got all kinds of instruments in this thing. There's violin, viola, all kinds of stuff in here. And if you listen with these little buds here, you can really hear the differences. I have to mention a couple of songs that I just thought were, first of all, their opening track, Blood in the Water, is fabulous. It's just really boom, boom, boom. I really loved it. Devil's Encyclopedia, I don't know.
Yes.
Somebody was on acid when they wrote this thing. It really was. I go, what? Yeah. It's just strange. My Share of Your Life, very interesting ballad kind of song. I really thought it was just really cool. I just liked it. Matchbox Racing, yeah, probably the weirdest song on this album, but it was good. I enjoyed it very much. I don't think there was a song. We have 12 tracks here, and I don't think there was a song I didn't like. Okay, they were all
Hour
good.
and 18 minutes too. Big.
Yeah. This is going to become something I'm going to listen to. As I said, they're from left field to me. I've never heard of them, and I've never heard of Leslie, but I can tell. And if you listen to enough albums, especially international, you can tell this is international. They're how they sing, how they speak, and sometimes how they write. You know, this is not coming from the United States.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it was really good. I really send me more like this, Mark. This is a really this is stellar. This is a stellar record, and I will be listening. For those you about start over again. For you out there who are looking for something just different, try this one out. It's very different. If you like rock and you like jazz and you like a little bit of folk, it gets some international folk in here.
Yeah, I think that's
it's
coming
all
from the
together.
lyric. Yeah.
Well, the lyrics on this you have to read them. You can't always understand them. The Sometimes the volume of the instruments overshadow the vocals a little bit, but if you got them and you read them as you go, you're blown away. The lyrics are quite phenomenal. You know, they really are.
So it's like the Avengers, for Christ's sake. I mean, like he just assembles these musicians who are completely void and different of each other. Al Di Meola, Bill Evans, Eric Burden. He's on a prior record, but there's some oddities here that are out of place, right? But how it all comes together is just mind blowing, especially with Ian Anderson. I don't like flute too much, and this has flute just about everywhere almost. And I think it goes so well and is done extremely well. And it's varietal. It's not the same. The music ranges from a Dave Matthews like jam session in The Big Quit. To the progressive flutian rockier 80s like the Devil's Encyclopedia, and then to the Mahavishnu like Age of Thought or Chicago, if you will. Got a whole lot of stuff going on. There is something for every instrument lover and a complete absorption into each other's leads, sounds, and emotive playing that they do. It's truly a remarkably made record, and there are even such subtleties in layers if you're listening to this where they could have just did what they did, but all of a sudden you'll hear something like it's so subtle that it's in there, right? Like somebody just didn't like how it was fine for the rest of us, but those people who are really above us went, no, let's add something. There's like 6 musical instruments in like I have a second, and they don't even need it, but they do it because it's freaking awesome.
This had to be done on 48 tracks.
Yeah, 4 billion tracks, right? It's truly a remarkably made record, and there are the one thing that I like is okay. There are a lot of you that will get that immediately that pick up on those little things, but they just don't go into those bridges easily. You know, it's not a bridge like you see in rock. This is well-built bridge. These are architectural masterpieces in musicianship to move there. The album can be tender in parts. The lyrical part, I get the folk sense of that. There are deliveries that are Floydian like. They're talky a little bit, but I'm very glad that the mere mention of this band and a hint of what it sounds like that came from Sea of Tranquility's show Professor's Picks, which means the Professor of Prague himself, led me to this album. I thank them profoundly. That's why it's on this channel today and why we're talking about it. There's a lot of music on this 1 hour and 18-minute progressive jazz rock fusion album. Bouncy keyboards, fistful of flute, you know, and I wonder who that was doing that. But you know,
and this is not a one-time listen. You cannot do this album on one listen. It's not possible. This thing is intense, but I say good intense. This is grab yourself a nice glass of red wine, sit down on your favorite couch, and put this on.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed.
Get some cheese, some nice gabagool. But yeah, this is if you're Mahavishnu, Chicago, and Jethro Tull, this is all wrapped up in a nice little package for you, delivered right to your door and into your ear. So I don't think we missed anything there. All right, so I'll take on Bossk by myself. So okay, here we go. Death Wish Records. Okay, that's a check mark in probably this is going to be heavy. I'm assuming the band is named after one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy. I'm correct. Bossk is the bounty hunter in The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, so they got that right. So all you Star Wars lovers, get out your Wikipedia. And that was not a check mark I was expecting when I picked up the band. Apparently, I didn't pay that close attention to the bounty hunters past Boba Fett, which they actually spell checked when I typed this into WordPress, and I spelled Boba Fett incorrect. So that's a whole new level of disturbance in the Force, if you ask me, if you get my telepathic drift. What we have here is a murky album cover that could be from Dagobah. And by the way, yes, I spelled Dagobah and it underscored that, and I didn't spell that right either. So it's Star Wars is everywhere and must be spelled properly, apparently. And finally, there's this sparseness in the title of the record, 0.4. That's it. That's not even half. They don't even get to half. But let me tell you, first off, you understand that we're in the midst of a throwdown of industrial meets cinema, instrumental soundscapes, and complex orchestration at the helm of, well, a post-metal band. Yep. Boys from Ashford, England here at the helm. And you wouldn't think they're as young as they are. And you wouldn't think that there'd be this vicious, cool riff, soundtrack of industrial elements, a generous amount of crescendo modes and stuff that go on, like the song The Reverie 2, which also has Crownlands, the band, in it. It's progressive 8-minute plus epic romp. Not to mention the addition of metalcore grind vocals that come up to scare the shit out of you. It spices it up. It's a wild record that this doesn't really tell you much of, but there are those moments where you're looking out at this murkiness. This is a very well composed and accented piece of music that is gripping and edgy, and I dug it. My kudos to them for hanging in there, because I think they broke up once already. So hopefully, our little bit on the channel brings this into your ear. If you're 9 Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, not that much Skinny Puppy, but enough. There's no, but a metal core, but not a whole lot of wild guitar work that you're thinking of too. It's cool. But I digress. So let's get into some of the extras. We got 2, and I'm gonna let the Grateful Dude start off with this one. What does the Grateful Dude think of the band Snarls and the album With Love, comma?
I liked it. I will just straight out like it. It's not hard not to. When I listen to an album, and I think my mind goes there, I try to relate it to other bands and stuff. The first thing that popped in my head when I heard the first couple tracks was the Bangles. A lot along the subdued side, but definitely they have the harmony type, and almost the same type of songs in type only. But they were good. It was I think I would put this as almost like an indie rock.
Definitely.
American indie rock. The album was good. It wasn't fabulous by any means. It was not in my wheelhouse, but it wasn't out of my wheelhouse. It was one of those things that it kept me going. I had 3 good listens to it. My ears didn't bleed or anything, so I was in all good shape. It was all in comfort. It's a comfortable album. That's a good way to put it. For those out there who are looking for something easy to listen to, I call this an easy listening album. It doesn't it doesn't scratch you in anywhere where it draws blood. It just nice and mellow all the way through. So
Yeah, it's not as mellow, but it does it. Yeah, because it's. Oh, so basically, am I liking it? I do agree with the Bangles comment a bit, but it's not jangly guitar. It's more. Oh, what do they call it? Not glam. Um, like. Oh my God, that's terrible. I can't come up with the genre. But indie rock is there, but there's a little bit of shoegaze in there. It kind of mellows
yeah,
it and thickens it a bit. And her vocal is like a dream kind of vocal versus the variety of the Bengals have with um why can't I think of her name now? Wow. Oh well. Shoot. Case of the
well,
olds, right?
I have, I have to say a couple of things. I want to talk about a couple of the tracks because there was a couple very cool songs on this. Heavy Drinker, I thought
Yes.
that was just. It was good. I was I watched the words at least one time when I do an album, so I can understand where the writing is coming from. And I am very much, as Mark knows, into lyrics as much as I am into the music. You know, because the lyrics are telling a story. Um, with Love, it was an average song. I didn't find it. I I would have thought something would have been more better off as an opening song, but I understand probably why they went there. But things like Driving Faster, Star Power, Sugar Rush, especially Sugar Rush, that was a very, very cool song. So the Grateful Dead was quite. I really was. I'm going to listen to some more of them. This came out this year, right, Mark? This is a
Yeah.
very new
Yep.
album, correct? Yeah.
Yep. I think they have
And
one. I think
Mark,
they
you
have
know,
two EPs, and their
two
first one was called Burst, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to listen to some more of them. They have an interesting sound, as I said. Um, uh, I see Bangles. You may not see completely that, but that's what they sound like to me, at least to my untrained ear. So
They don't have the. I mean, the Susanna Hoff is the singer from the Bangles that I was relating to. She's got a bigger range, etc.
yeah,
But I Nina Gordon is another one that comes to mind in that genre.
right, yeah,
So yeah. But yeah, it's very likable. It's indie rock ready. They play things very well. It's safe. They don't go
yeah.
far left, right, and they don't try to make an angry statement over the top. They're very carefully done, and they're good lyrics and catchy. It's a little catchy. It's not, and it doesn't beat you over the head. The songs are not elongated in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, it's a good record. All right, so here's where I'm going to end it. Sonic Universe. This is the album. It is what it is. Holy cow, was I excited for this one. Okay. We've got Corey Glover of Living Colour, who hasn't lost an inch of his vocal since that band started. He's been touring right now. One of my friends, obviously Jeff Young, saw him just a few weeks back. He's here in Buffalo this weekend. I don't know if we're going to get to go or not. We'll see. He's got Mike Orlando from Category 7 and Adrenaline Mob. Taekwon Jackson, Booker King. I mean, this is a metal album, and I can't wait to hear this. And that's exactly what we get: metal hard rock. Even it feels like Skid Row's Slave to the Grind, which I absolutely love that record. However, there's a very troubling part to this entire thing, and the sound through my ears, and it stuck with me. And Susie Q was in the car with me while I was playing this for the first time. And when we're listening to this in the car, it never really left either of our ears. And I'm sort of scared to say this, but Corey Glover literally over sang every single moment of this record.
Oh, my soul laid bare. The whispers and the screams, reality and dreams. See, you were all I need.
I'm going to tell you that soloists in the guitar realm seemed like they were obliterated by the man's vocal. There's not enough room for anybody to breathe in this. Now, it's astounding that his vocal can do this. I get it. I get it. But it's tremendously obnoxious to me. And my wife was like, "Is this over soon?" She goes, she couldn't take it. And I was there. And just so you know, Dam was supposed to join us too. I texted her that I was listening to it. And she said she was too. And she made the same comment that these vocals are just unbelievably just bombastic. But maybe some of you out there can help me and figure out what went wrong, or something in my metal ear is messed up again somehow because of all the other stuff I've listened to over the years. Maybe I've got too much I don't know, Bob Weir going on and I can't get there anymore. But I think I can. I think I can. Anyway, Sonic Universe, I mean, it is what it is, and it's done. Will I listen to it again? I'm afraid to. At least I'll have to listen to it in my headphones, because I know my wife will go, "Turn down. Oh my God, please don't." And she likes metal. So that's anyway. What did I I want to thank the Grateful Dude for doing this. I appreciate it. He's off at work. Basically, he took some time off to do this for us. He's not in his usual comfort zone. He's not in his room or outdoors.
The green wall.
Yeah, you could probably put some dinosaurs behind there and make a movie. He's also sporting a much younger goatee, which we really like. We're thinking, if anybody wants to send a nice black fedora, a gold fedora, we'll get a Beyond Your Radio logo on it.
And a gold chain.
And a gold chain, yeah, that says I'm hip to the rap, maybe.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of these albums? Did you give them a try? Let us know what you think. I'd love to hear the comments, especially in the Sonic universe. Well, and that Sandoki, this Mandoki Soulmates. That's want to hear you people on that one. We will be here next weekend, and guess what? We're going to tackle the new Billie Eilish record, and then a few more. So check us out on BeyondYourRadio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Thanks for watching and happy listening.